Hi, Gloria Grace Rand here today with another one of our Ignite member interviews. And today I have the pleasure of talking with Georgia Lee London. Did I get that right?
That's right.
Like, 'cause I know you got a middle name in there, so that's awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where do you live, and a little bit about your business and who you serve.
Sure. So the Georgia Lee London, the Lee breaks up the state and the city. I mean, how many people have a name that's a state and a city, right? But maybe it's easy to remember. I don't know. And right now I'm in the state of Maryland in a little tiny town called Havre de Grace, Maryland. It's right on the Chesapeake Bay.
Mm.
It's beautiful here. I love it here. But I also have a place in New York City, which I go to at least once every week, for a few days. And I love that. It's such a change because I go from this quiet little town to this living on 42nd Street in Manhattan. And so about 5 blocks, 4 or 5 blocks from Times Square. So I go from one extreme to the other, but it's wonderful. It's fun. I really
Mm.
enjoy it. And my business, I actually have two online businesses. One that I started about 7 years ago, it's called Zengevity, Body Brain Balance. And it's basically for any size, any age, shape, or ability, a fitness program. It's a brain fitness program and a body fitness program. And I deliver both with this movement. I deliver it with movement. I'm a psychologist by training. And what happened was I've always taught movement, all my life. I've always worked in the addiction and recovery field as a psychologist, as a clinical researcher and clinical director. But I taught movement mainly because I hate to exercise. And it forced me to show up and teach. So if I had to teach, I had to show up and do it myself. So that was really my motivation for teaching movement of all forms. And then about, I guess now it's been 8 or 9 years that the local senior center, Council on Aging, invited me to teach an exercise class to a group of seniors. And I had never worked with that age group before. So I thought, oh, that'll be fun. So I started doing that. And I was teaching a different movement form. But I realized, real quick that there's so much more that could be done with this age group of 70s, 80s, 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So I started thinking about it and trying different things and created this movement that I don't think anyone else is doing, where they engage the brain exercises while doing the actual physical exercises. And then some of the classes are done, people sitting in chairs. Some of the things are done at a health club where they're fully standing. I've trained about 750 teachers now. I've certified them how to teach Zengevity. They go into assisted livings, health clubs. They go into senior centers and Council on Aging, and they teach the Zengevity class that I certify them to teach. And we have 3 trainers now, so we're growing. It's a great business. Love it. It's a passion for me. It actually started when my 89-year-old mother-in-law came to live with us sort of at the end of her life. And as we went through those stages, I just remember walking through the halls of the nursing homes and having somebody slumped over in a wheelchair and people walking by them so fast and not paying them attention. And I thought, gee, we can do better than this.
Yeah.
So what I do now mostly, because I have trainers who teach the initial Zengevity program, is I go into corporate or assisted livings and nursing homes and train the staff how to use Zengevity so that when they walk by a patient that's slumped over in the wheelchair, they'll know how to engage them, how to be creative with them, how to get them to turn on their light that's still there, that's inside. So that's Zengevity. And then I have another business that was sort of a spin-off of Zengevity. The Zengevity teachers needed coaching about how to start their business. Some of them didn't know how to even walk into a health club and say, I would like to teach a class, right? And some of them wanted to open a Zengevity studio, or maybe they were a yoga studio owner who was offering Zengevity, but their business just wasn't thriving, and so they needed help with that. So then I created the second business, which is called Be Boldly Brilliant Business Breakthroughs. And it's a coaching program. I have 2 coaching groups right now. And that's it in a nutshell, what I'm up to in terms of my business. It's a busy life, but I love it.
Well, very cool. Well, That's awesome. I mean, I love what you're doing with, especially with the seniors. I think that's so very needed, and I applaud you for that. So that's awesome. So I wanted to kind of touch on a little bit more, maybe a little bit about you personally. I've been asking the other people that have done the interview so far something about like what is, if you have like one that you think is like your unique skill or your superpower, as it were, what would that be?
I feel like I have lots of superpowers.
Of course, yeah.
Not Modesty
I
is
can
not
tell.
one of them.
Well, pick one. What's your favorite one then? How
Okay,
about that?
so I think my favorite is that I just love being with people,
Mm,
and I have a way of engaging with people. And, just like with the longevity, I know how to help people. And maybe it's my psychologist training, I'm not sure,
mhm,
but or maybe it was just my natural born self because my
mhm,
granddaughter is very similar. Like she
mhm.
automatically, her first day at daycare, she was going around comforting all the little boys in her daycare because she's the only girl. So
Oh
she
my.
was comforting all the little boys while they were crying for their moms. And
Aw.
that's sort of been me, like I was like that even when I was little. I was able to give comfort and support and really, you know, inspire people uh, to be, the best that they can be. So I think that's probably my main superpower.
Very cool. Awesome. So, do you have any other, when you're not busy with your business and training people and coaching, do you have anything you do on your in your downtime, a hobby or favorite passion?
Sure. I love photography.
Yeah.
And I love taking images. I really have been into black and white photography. It's making a comeback right now, so I've really enjoyed doing that. And one of the things that I've studied photography. I went to the Center for Design and Imaging Arts, and got certified in photography. And I actually did wedding photography on the side for a few years long ago. But I still keep up at it. I'm a member of a photography club here in town that meets once a week. And, it keeps me taking pictures, right? It's easy to fall into not doing anything when we're busy in life, but this keeps me engaged with my passion. And of course, everything's my passion, but but photography is sort of outside the window that I'm usually looking through and
Right.
helping people through. Recently, I did a photo book
Mhm.
for the homeless. I volunteer at a homeless shelter in New York City,
Wow.
and they wanted like a coffee table book.
Yeah.
So when people came into the office and they're waiting to see the executive director, they could
Mhm.
pick up the book and look through and see. So I went around New York City and took lots and lots of photos of homeless people,
Wow.
given permission from them to
Yeah.
take their photo. And
Mhm.
I put together this photo book, and it was just a simple little thing, but it actually turned out quite lovely. And the
Mhm.
people at the homeless shelter were very grateful for that, to have
Mhm.
something like that to share with
That's
people.
awesome.
So
Well, you are an amazing woman, and I'm so glad that you are in the group and that we've had some time to be able to get to learn more about you. And so, I guess people can find you in the group and connect with you. I would encourage that, and if they're interested in what you have to say. So, thanks so much for being with us today.
yeah, absolutely. And thank you, Gloria, for inviting me to do the interview and to say hello to all of the people in your group. I have to say that, so often people have called me Gloria instead
Oh,
of
really?
Georgia. And I
Oh.
don't know what that's about, but instead of Georgia, they'll call me Gloria. So it's really, and I've never met a Gloria. So it's really nice to meet a
Good.
Gloria. I love your name, Gloria Grace. That's
Well,
beautiful.
thank you. Oh, well, thank you. Well, I've never, what, I don't think I've ever met a Georgia before either. So I'm glad to be able to meet you as well. And yeah, it's
Right.
funny how people are with names, but it's awesome. So thanks again. And we'll look forward to seeing you in the group again later.
Thank you.